Didi and Armand, have you got any complementary or recreational pastimes that that have become part of your practice, or something you brought that have come with you that you found ways to apply practice to, or to complement practice, or so on and so forth? I'd love to hear.
Yeah, it's actually the same, not the complete answer, but the same answer as David was saying. Like everything becomes a complement. A complementary activity to support the practice. Like I'm really into food, and with the nutritional qigong, the five element food. Um, so bringing it to your practice, it's like even going to grocery shopping. You're going in there, and you feel like, okay, feel like what do I want to eat? What kind of energy do I want to bring into my body? And so you start. I only go to like organic shops. So and then you just kind of roam around, like, okay, what feels good for me now in this season, in this particular day, and then I really interact with the food. So this is already kind of part of my practice. Like, okay, and then um, cooking, very mindful, very, uh, it's a practice on itself. And then again, when we eat,
That's the best part.
that's yeah. Especially, he's like, wow. He finished a meal and he already wants to know what's next. So okay, but when we don't start sitting at the table, but we do our how do you call that,
A ritual.
our ritual, the
We have our affirmations, and we stand up and we tune into life force, and we say all these things and repeat them, and they become more powerful. And then and you measure some days it's a little less power. It's like, oh, what's happening? So our next day, now it's better again. So there's so much ritual. Isn't food like the center of what we do?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes. It kind of brought me on this path.
Yes.
It was always something. First, it bothered me. Like I always had stomach aches, and so this kind of got me on this path. And now it's kind of, this is what it's like. It boosted my practice. It's the thing that started it, and it's kind of the thing that really it inspires me every day. It's what brings it's the start. It's part of my day every day. And so even charging the food, eating the food, being very conscious eating, and so that's for me is a very strong one. Talking about this question.
Improve. I mean, out of training, everything seems to improve, right? The taste experience, just the mindfulness of anything, how it's in the mouth, how it goes down, how is that an hour later, how it feel good, or maybe it's like.
We do these 5-day workshops with people, and really going through the ascension path, going through all the different stages. And then in the middle of the week, we also do lunches together. And then on the Wednesday, we do a tasting session, but we tune into energy. And then we ask everybody to really feel, and not just tasting, not just the mouth, but what happens to your system? What happens, the taste, the energy, do you feel cold, warm, but then also the emotions that come up. And there is the emotions are related to, for most of us, lots of the food trigger emotion. And why we eat the way we do, it's like conditioned, but it's also something, what do we want to nourish in our bodies? So yeah, this is so interesting, especially when you see people having, most people are addicted to coffee, and that's what you see on the roads. It's addicted to sugar, but when you hear them talk about it, it's like, oh, what's underneath? It's a whole it's kind of
this could be a podcast in itself.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. It's so huge. And so forgotten sometimes. Also in the practice, it's like it's so important. What are you bringing into your system and why? And making that a mindful thing. Yeah, for sure.
And also, like, this is also for journaling. What in the morning when you do your practice, if you meditate and you feel like, oh, I don't have the concentration, what did you eat the day before? Because it can have such a big impact on how your state is the next day. And I just mentioned coffee. So many people nowadays drink so much coffee. How do you feel drinking this? What did you feed by taking all this coffee? And so what do you have to do to kind of come in the right zone the next day if you take all this stuff? I mean, it's most people, when they're going on this journey, at some point you have to look at your